Welcome back to Senior Health Quizzes, where your brain gets a workout and your health gets a boost. Hello, my name is John, and today we're doing a quiz about memory and brain health, a topic that concerns millions of adults over 60 across the country. And here's a fact that might surprise you. Your brain can grow new cells at any age, which means it's never too late to protect your memory. The 20 questions I'm about to ask you will keep your mind sharp and help you recognize warning signs early. Let's jump into question number 1. All right, here we go. What is the most effective activity for maintaining brain health in seniors? Is it A, watching the TV news for several hours, B, doing crossword puzzles and reading a book, or C, sleeping 12 hours a night? The answer is B, doing crossword puzzles and reading. Keeping your brain engaged with new challenges creates fresh neural connections. Think of it like exercise for your mind. Question 2. Which vitamin deficiency is commonly linked to memory problems in older adults? A, vitamin C, B, vitamin B12, C, vitamin A. B is correct, vitamin B12. This vitamin is crucial for nerve function and brain health. As we age, our bodies absorb less B12 from food, making deficiency more common after 60. Now, question 3. How many hours of sleep per night are recommended for optimal brain health in seniors? A, 4 to 5 hours, B, 7 to 8 hours, C, 10 to 12 hours. The answer is B, 7 to 8 hours. During sleep, your brain clears out toxins and consolidates memories. Too little or too much sleep can both negatively impact cognitive function. Let me expand on this because sleep is absolutely critical for your brain. While you sleep, your brain activates something called the glymphatic system, which essentially washes away waste products including beta amyloid, a protein linked to Alzheimer's disease. A study from the National Institutes of Health found that adults over 60 who consistently slept less than 6 hours had significantly higher levels of this toxic protein. On the flip side, sleeping too much, more than 9 hours regularly, was also associated with cognitive decline. The sweet spot for most seniors is 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep. If you're having trouble sleeping, talk to your doctor rather than just accepting it as part of aging. Question 4. At what age does the brain typically begin to shrink in volume? A, around 40 years old, B, around 60 years old, C, around 75 years old. The answer is A, around 40 years old. Most people are surprised by this. Brain volume actually starts declining in our 40s, not when we become seniors. The good news is that lifestyle factors like exercise, diet, and mental stimulation can significantly slow this process. So if you're watching this thinking you have decades before worrying about brain health, think again. Let's move on. Question 5. What role does social interaction play in brain health for seniors? Reduces cognitive decline, has no effect on the brain, or speeds up memory loss? Those are options A through C. A is correct. It reduces cognitive decline. Regular conversations and social activities stimulate multiple areas of the brain. Isolation, on the other hand, is a significant risk factor for dementia. Question 6 coming up. Which type of exercise has been shown to benefit brain health the most? A, stretching only. B, aerobic exercise like walking or swimming. C, lifting very heavy weights. If you said B, aerobic exercise, you got it right. Activities that get your heart pumping increase blood flow to the brain and promote the growth of new brain cells. By the way, are you keeping score? Write down your points and share your total in the comments when we finish. I'm curious to see how everyone does. On to question 7. What is the connection between hearing loss and cognitive decline? A, there is no connection. B, hearing loss can accelerate cognitive decline. C, hearing loss protects the brain. B is correct. Hearing loss can accelerate cognitive decline. When your brain struggles to process sounds, It diverts resources away from memory and thinking. Getting your hearing checked and using hearing aids if needed can actually help protect your brain. This connection is more significant than most people realize. Research from Johns Hopkins found that seniors with untreated hearing loss experience cognitive decline up to 40% faster than those with normal hearing. The theory is that when the brain constantly strains to hear, it has less capacity for other functions like memory and processing. Additionally, hearing loss often leads to social isolation, which we already know damages brain health. A study in The Lancet identified hearing loss as the single largest modifiable risk factor for dementia in midlife. If you've been putting off that hearing test, consider this your sign to schedule one. Question 8. Which of the following foods is best for brain health? A. Whole grain bread. B. Fatty fish like salmon. C. Lean chicken breast. B is the answer. Fatty fish like salmon. While whole grains and lean protein are healthy choices, the omega-3 fatty acids in fish specifically support brain cell structure and reduce inflammation. Try to include fish in your diet at least twice a week. Question 9. What percentage of dementia cases may be preventable through lifestyle changes? A. About 10%. B. About 25%. C. Up to 40%. C is correct, up to 40%. This comes from a major report in The Lancet. Managing blood pressure, staying active, keeping socially engaged, and protecting your hearing all contribute to reducing your risk. Question 10, and we're at the halfway mark. Which of these is an early warning sign that should be discussed with a doctor? A. Taking longer to learn new things. B. Difficulty completing familiar daily tasks. C. Needing to write things down more often. The answer is B. Difficulty completing familiar daily tasks. We're not talking about learning something new. If tasks you've done for years suddenly become confusing, that's worth a conversation with your doctor. Question 11. How does high blood pressure affect brain health in seniors? A. It has no effect on the brain. B. It can damage blood vessels and increase dementia risk. C. It improves blood flow to the brain. B is correct. It can damage blood vessels and increase dementia risk. High blood pressure damages the small vessels that supply blood to your brain, leading to reduced function over time. Keeping your blood pressure controlled is one of the best things you can do for your memory. Moving along. Question 12. What is brain plasticity? A. The brain's ability to reorganize and form new connections. B. The hardening of brain tissue with age. C. A type of brain surgery. A is correct. The brain's ability to reorganize and form new connections. This is great news because it means your brain can adapt and grow at any age. Learning new skills, languages, or instruments all take advantage of this ability. Let me tell you why this matters so much. For decades, scientists believed the adult brain was fixed and could only decline. We now know that's completely wrong. A groundbreaking study from the University of California found that adults in their 70s who learned a new language showed measurable increases in brain volume and improved cognitive test scores. Another study published in the Journal of Neuroscience demonstrated that seniors who took up juggling of all things showed growth in areas of the brain responsible for visual and motor skills. The key is novelty and challenge. Your brain doesn't grow from doing the same crossword puzzle format every day. It grows when you push it outside its comfort zone. So pick up that instrument you always wanted to learn, take that class, or learn a new card game with friends. Question 13. Which of the following beverages may support brain health when consumed in moderation? A. Black coffee. B. Green tea. C. Red wine. That's B. Green tea. All three have been claimed to have brain benefits, but green tea has the strongest evidence. It contains compounds called catechins that have antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. While coffee may help with alertness and red wine was once thought protective, Recent research suggests green tea offers the most consistent cognitive benefits without the downsides. Here's question 14. What is the relationship between diabetes and brain health? Diabetes has no effect on the brain. Diabetes increases the risk of cognitive decline, or diabetes improves memory function. B is correct. High blood sugar damages blood vessels throughout the body, including those in the brain. Managing your blood sugar is crucial for protecting your memory. Question 15 now. How does chronic stress affect the brain over time? A. It strengthens memory. B. It can shrink the hippocampus and impair memory. C. It has no lasting effects. The answer is B. It can shrink the hippocampus and impair memory. The hippocampus is your brain's memory center. Prolonged exposure to stress hormones like cortisol can actually cause this area to shrink. Finding ways to manage stress is essential for long-term brain health. Let's keep going. Question 16. Which of these activities provides the least benefit for brain health? A. Learning to play piano. B. Passive television watching. C. Playing strategic board games. B is correct. Passive television watching. While relaxing occasionally is fine, spending hours passively watching TV doesn't challenge your brain. Active engagement like learning music or playing strategy games provides much more benefit. Question 17. Which daily habit is most harmful to brain health over time? A. Skipping breakfast occasionally. B. Spending most of the day sitting. C. Drinking tap water instead of filtered. B is the answer. Spending most of the day sitting. You might not think of sitting as dangerous, but research calls it the new smoking. A study from UCLA found that adults who sat for long periods had thinning in brain regions responsible for memory, even if they exercised regularly. Let me explain why this matters so much. When you sit for hours, blood flow to the brain decreases significantly. Your brain needs constant oxygen and nutrients delivered through circulation, and prolonged sitting starves it of both. A 2018 study in PLOS One found that seniors who sat more than 10 hours daily had brain aging equivalent to 10 additional years compared to active adults. The damage occurs even if you exercise for 30 minutes a day but sit the rest of the time. The solution is simple but requires consistency. Stand up and move for at least 2 minutes every hour. Take phone calls while walking. Consider a standing desk or watch TV while marching in place. These small changes add up to significant brain protection over time. Almost there now. Question 18. Which type of diet is most associated with better brain health in seniors? A. High sugar, processed food diet. B. Mediterranean diet, rich in vegetables, fish, and olive oil. C. High red meat diet. B is correct, the Mediterranean diet. This eating pattern has been consistently linked to lower rates of cognitive decline and dementia. The combination of healthy fats, antioxidants, and anti-inflammatory foods works together to protect your brain. Question 19. How does staying hydrated affect brain function? A. Hydration has no effect on the brain. B. Even mild dehydration can impair concentration and memory. C. Drinking water decreases brain function. The answer is B. Even mild dehydration can impair concentration and memory. Your brain is about 75% water. When you're dehydrated, your brain actually shrinks slightly, affecting how well it works. Seniors are especially vulnerable because the sense of thirst decreases with age. Last question. What should you do if you notice memory changes in yourself or a loved one? A. Ignore it because memory loss is inevitable with age. B. Wait several years to see if it gets worse. C. Discuss concerns with a doctor promptly. C is the correct answer. Discuss concerns with a doctor promptly. Early detection matters. Some causes of memory problems are reversible, like medication side effects, thyroid issues, or vitamin deficiencies. And even for conditions like Alzheimer's, earlier diagnosis allows for better planning and access to treatments that may slow progression.
And that wraps up today's 20 questions. If this quiz helped you learn something new, subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Your support means everything.